I thought I'd come to the floor on this very special day, Valentine's Day, to talk about a very special kind of love that happens between children and parents. And you know, Mr. President, because you've been really a wonderful, wonderful leader, along with many others here on the floor, for the idea that every child deserves a protective family and that children really don't do a very good job of raising themselves. Governments don't do a really good job of raising children. Children really need to be raised in a family, and a child should be with their siblings whenever possible, raised under the protective arms or in the protective arms and under the watchful eye of parents, at least one responsible adult. And Mr. President, you know how heartbreaking it is on every day, but particularly a day like today, where we're sending cards to our loved ones. I know the first call I made was to my husband this morning and to my children to wish them a happy Valentine's. People are doing that all over the world today. In fact, I was given some very interesting information. I had no idea that 180 million Valentine's cards are purchased today. 180 million, that's pretty amazing. 200 million roses are sold today, and 36 million heart-shaped boxes of chocolate are eaten today. Now, I haven't gotten my box of chocolate yet. I don't know if you have, but I'm still looking for mine. But, you know, the sad thing is that there are millions of children that are not going to receive a phone call today. They're not going to receive a card. They will not receive a box of chocolate. And they may not even receive a pat on the head or a hug or a letter, a word of encouragement, because they're orphans. These are children that live all over the world, in our own country, sad to say. We have about 100,000 children in our foster care system that have had their biological parents their rights terminated because of either gross neglect or abuse. Children that are waiting for another family to step up. You, Mr. President, were very active and successful in passing the adoption tax credit provision that provides some financial assistance to families that are stepping up to adopt children in need in our own country and around the world. There are 100,000 children waiting for that Valentine card or that box of chocolate or that hug or just to belong to a family. And around the world, we don't even know what those numbers are. I hope that our country will realize how important it is for us to do a better job of connecting orphans and abandoned infants and neglected children of all ages, not to put them in institution, not to turn them out on the street, not to allow them to be trafficked by drug cartels or sex traders or people that will exploit them for other purposes, but to put them in the arms of a loving family, connecting them to a loving and responsible adult. We, of course, try to keep children in their own biological families when possible, but if war, disease, or death separates them, why do we not think that it's not the most important thing in the world, because it is, to connect those children to a loving family? That's what this resolution says. It's just as simple as we can say it on Valentine's Day. For kids that will never get a kiss or a box of chocolate or haven't yet, there's still hope that we can give them a family, a protective family, that we can protect these sibling groups. And if government would work just a little bit smarter, not even necessarily throwing that much more money, although you can always use a little extra, I find, but just working smarter and better and working with the churches, working with faith-based communities around the world, we can connect children to families. That's all this resolution says. It expresses the sense of the Senate. I hope that we can pass this by unanimous consent. So when I travel around the world, as I do often, when I'm in Guatemala or when I'm in Uganda or when I have been in places like Russia and in China, and the senators there, or the members or the people, the leaders ask me, what do the other senators say? Do they believe this as well? I can say, absolutely, I'm going to carry this resolution with me and I'm going to show it to them, because that's all this resolution says. is that every child in the world deserves a protective and loving family. So I don't know if Valentine's Day will be perfect for many children. I hope that my children have had a wonderful day today, but we can